and welcome back to another episode of the Melanin Corner. I'm your host, Tamia Jacobs, and I am joined by my amazing co-host,
Amaya Duvall.
Yes, and Amaya, today, I know before this we were talking a little bit about stagnant friendships and how you can let go of those so that you can grow as a person. So do you have any experience like with some friends that maybe...
Yes, it's crazy because I just let go of one friendship that I've had. We've been friends probably just over a year or so.
Okay, so it's kind of a new friendship.
Yeah, so not to go in too deep about it, but basically, I always felt like I gave more into the friendship. But then it's like a situation came upon me where I feel like I really needed her the most and she was not there for me. And it's like at a certain point in your life, you get tired of expressing how you feel to someone over and over. So
Exactly.
I just made the decision to let it go. And especially when your own mother tells you that that friend isn't a good friend, I was like, oh yeah, it's time for me to move on. Yes, and it's like it's no hard feelings, still wish you the best, but the friendship just isn't real on your end.
So how did you bring up that conversation with this person? Because sometimes that can be hard.
So during the current situation that I was in, I told them like, you haven't reached out to me to make sure I'm okay. And they felt like that basically I needed to reach out to them and then they tell me that they have my support. And I feel like in a situation like that, when a person is going through a lot, they're not going to reach out to every single person and give them a spill on what's going on.
Right.
Especially if you're hearing about it from others, that's when you need to take the initiative to reach out to your so-called sister.
Exactly.
So, I just told them straight up, like, I feel like you aren't here for me. Then I even asked, like, I'm willing to have a conversation one-on-one. And girl, guess what? I've been left on red for like 2 weeks now.
Yes. No. What?
Yes.
Wait, did you see this person after that?
Oh, yeah, I've seen them.
What did they
Don't
say?
speak to me, so I said, oh, that's God's
Okay, yeah, that ain't even a stagnant friendship. That's a toxic friendship, because how dare you leave me on red?
So I say, you know what? Accept the signs for what they are. I'm not going to force, fight back.
Yes.
If you don't want to be my friend, that's fine. At the end of the day, I know it was real on my end.
Yeah, and that's all you need sometimes.
Yes.
See, for me, right now, I lost like 3 friends this year.
Really?
And let me rephrase, not lost, but like I had to let go of 3 friends this year. Mainly because I feel like on my end, I was real, just like how you feel. And I feel like people, is it just me or are people getting weirder and weirder? Like
no, they're getting weird.
These friends that I lost are literally so strange. One of the situations I found out that the girl was like, I would tell her stuff and then like, I would be around people who she would hang around and then they would like slip, like little things would slip where it would sound like she was, but it wasn't even like she was talking about me, but like they knew stuff about me that I didn't.
That you did not tell them.
So like that's weird.
That's a no-go.
That's definitely a no-go.
Because what I tell you is only for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then it all came to a culmination, like a boiling point where we had to break it off. And I actually had to end up giving her a ride home after this whole argument had went down, and it was just silence in the car. Child, silence in the car.
I was like, get out.
I really wanted to be like, so you gonna walk back to camp, right? But I couldn't do that because then folks was gonna be like, well, Tamia, she made me walk back to campus. So I was like, let me not.
It would have been a part 2.
Exactly, it would have been a part 2 in the parking lot. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just take her back and just cut this off after this. I did that. I lost that friend. Another friend was actually my best friend since middle school.
Really?
But luckily, we're kind of coming back together. But we did have a space where we were definitely like distant.
Okay.
But that's because she joined an organization on campus. Y'all know how that goes. Like when you get into different stuff, sometimes space is needed.
Switch up.
Right. People switch up. And it seemed like she had her line brothers and sisters, and it was like she was taking more time to hang out with them, which I gave her space to do.
Right.
But it was like weird things were happening. Like when they had the Atlanta game at the beginning of the year, it's like she was down there and I didn't even know.
Really?
Like you as my best friend didn't even tell me.
How you know I didn't want to go with you?
Well, that's the crazy part. It's like, and I was in Atlanta too. Like we both live in Atlanta, but it's just like you came home, came back to school, didn't say anything.
Right, yeah.
I'm just supposed to find out from other people. That was weird. The most current one is like one that I'm still working through now, where my friend is now in like a beginning stage of a relationship or whatever. And you know those friends, have you ever had an experience with a friend who like gets into this honeymoon phase and then all of a sudden they're unreachable?
Oh, yes.
And they only call on you when it's convenient, like when they need you. But what happens when I'm going through a point in time
and I
need you to be around? It's like, so that's the spot where I'm at right now with her. And I don't know where we stand. We've had multiple conversations
about it, but then at a certain point you get tired of talking about it. It's like, okay, nothing has changed, so why do we still keep speaking on this?
It's draining too.
You can only fight for so long. Like fighting for a friendship is like fighting for a relationship.
And sometimes I can even find that letting go like of friendships is harder.
Yeah, it is.
Because it's like, really with this girl now, it feels like, dang, that's crazy because it came from you. Like, I would expect this from other people. It's like,
I wouldn't do it to you either. So it's just a lot. Like, I don't know.
Because friendships are one of the most like intimate relationships that you will share in your lifetime. Aside
Especially
from
a sisterhood.
Exactly. It's like outside of relationships where of course there's like the physical aspect too. I feel like friendships can be also as intimate because a lot of times intimacy isn't just like sexual, you know what I mean? It's like also you literally know everything about me because when something goes wrong with you, who do you come to? Your best friend.
Right.
Sometimes even above your parents because it's like I can't tell my mom about the the
We
thottery.
go to our friends for everything. Like that's the shoulder we lean to cry on and everything.
Yes.
Like, a friendship, I don't care what anybody say. Like I've never been the type of female, I don't need no friends. No,
Yeah.
everybody needs that one friend because you just never know.
And sometimes you just need one.
Yes,
you don't need several.
You don't need 2, 3.
Have you always been that type of person though?
Like just needing.
Like have you been? Would you say that you've always been like a person with a lot of friends, or have you been like I got 1 or 2 good friends and then like acquaintances outside?
I wouldn't say a lot of friends. So when I think about over the previous times, like I've always been cool with many people.
Right.
But as far as friendships, like I take friendships very serious. Like my mom be like, your friend called me. I'm like, Mom, that's not my friend. I don't call everybody my friend. And that's not even me thinking, negative or whatever people may think. That's just truly like my character. Like if I consider you my friend, you have to show me characteristics of being a friend,
What's your astrological sign, Maya?
A Leo.
A Leo. Interesting. See, it's all making sense.
Thank you. What's yours?
A Virgo.
Okay.
See, and I think with Virgos too, like take friendships very seriously.
Yes.
Like, and once you kind of burn a friendship with me, I'm like, I don't know. I can't look at you the same. Like, even if we talk about it.
And sometimes, like, I am the type, like, I do cut people off pretty easily.
Oh, you think so?
Yes. And, it's kind of sad. Like, I can cut somebody off way easier, like, a friendship than a relationship. And I feel like it's friendship because it's, like, you know better. Come on now. Even a relationship, too. But friendship is, like, we are supposed to be tied in, like, come on now. You should know the rules, how this go, the playbook.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've always been that type. Like, in high school, like plenty of people did me wrong. I let them go. Like I done told them how I felt, and after that, I went about my business. Cause I'm like, when it comes to females, they're real petty, messy. I don't have time for that. Like, I'm not about to play no games. So.
What do you think about sometimes? I know a lot of females that I've met. They're like, oh, I don't have friends that are girls. Like I hang out with dudes. Yeah, they're like, I have guy friends. I have
a friend that's like that. Honestly, like growing up in high school, she just had nothing but guy friends, and that's simply because like the school she went to, the females were very messy. So I feel like it's nothing wrong with that at all. Because I used to have a lot of guy friends in high school, but I also had girls as well. But I've always had both. I've never been the type, I just want guy friends because who doesn't want to have girl time?
Yeah.
I have girl weekend and stuff. So what do you think?
I think honestly, like in the past, I've looked at that and been like, but why? Like, I don't know.
Like, what's your reason?
I kind of always looked at that like with a sense of like maybe a little bit of like judgment. Like, why do you only have guy friends? Because to me,
what's up with that?
Yeah, because to me, it just gives like, okay. Sometimes I feel like girls, sometimes it can be valid, right? Sometimes you literally have been around messy females.
Right.
But sometimes I feel like the female who says that is the one who's messy. Like, and that's why she can't keep girlfriends.
Yeah, it can be like that too.
A lot of times it can be like that. But honestly, as I've grown older and friends have started to, die off and things like that, I'm just like...
Sometimes these guys be the realest ones as a friend.
And I think sometimes, too, why it's easier to have friendships with men is because, well,
Well, to like a strictly friendship.
Yeah, because sometimes that's where it starts to get.
Starting off as friends, then we're gonna date. No,
yeah,
just friends.
But that's where it's hard too. That's the only thing I would say about being friends with men.
Sometimes they tend to like you.
There's different motives for stuff like that.
We're supposed to be brothers and sisters, not
right?
Like you.
Exactly. But if you get a guy friend who's legitimately just a friend, then I think it's easier because they're not with all that mess. Guys aren't about.
They gonna tell you straight up. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not about gossiping.
Right.
It's like sometimes with girls it can get really, really messy. Yes. So we have to be careful about that, ladies.
You can tell them something and they may go tell another friend.
Yep.
And it's like this conversation is supposed to be between you and I. Like,
yep. And that's another thing too about my friend now. It's like I don't know if she running back and telling the significant other about what I be saying, you know? Yeah. So what are some tips we can give to our viewers, like about how they can let go of friendships easier if they feel like it's some place that they don't need to be at?
Well, for one, I say definitely communicate. You know,
communication is key.
You don't just have to cut them off and not say anything. It's okay to say something to them and then leave. You know, at least you voiced your opinion or voiced your feelings. And then two, you don't have to leave off like on a bad. How can you say it bad?
Like it doesn't have to be a bad breakup.
Yeah,
so
it doesn't.
Much.
You don't have to wish bad on them or anything. Like you can still, or y'all can be cordial. You know, hey and bye.
Yep.
You know? So what are yours?
I definitely agree most wholeheartedly with the communication part. I feel like communication is so key to any relationship that you have in your life. With friends, it should be easier for you guys to communicate because you have that background of, you know, being friends. I think, but when moving forward, once you communicated to a certain point, after that communication isn't being reciprocated, then you just need to break it off. Right. There's no use in fighting for that with somebody who doesn't want to fight, you know, for it with you. So yeah, I mean, those are definitely some tips that we could offer. And as always, we love you guys so much for watching. And we thank you again for coming in. Any like closing thoughts for our viewers?
We enjoyed you guys. We hope you enjoyed every podcast.
Yes, thank you so much for helping us build this. And we will see you hopefully again here in the corner.
Yes,
bye. Bye.